has always been a major ambition. And it's a huge advantage if you have somebody who can be recognised as that, not just in your country, but around the world. You know, people don't change that much. I think they recognise those people whose commitment.
In a stunning royal development that has left observers searching for answers, reports suggest that King Charles III made the extraordinary decision to have one of Queen Camilla's grandsons removed from Windsor Castle. The alleged incident has sparked intense speculation about what may really be happening behind palace walls. Even more intriguing are claims that Princess Anne quietly approved of the move, choosing silence over intervention. Was this simply a private family matter, or does it reveal deeper tensions and shifting power dynamics within the monarchy? So what do you think really happened? Was King Charles fair to Camilla's family, or should royal tradition always come first, no matter who is involved? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. To help us create more videos and uncover the latest royal drama, please subscribe. The Windsor Castle Incident. Few royal stories in recent memory have sparked as much curiosity and debate as the reports surrounding the alleged removal of one of Queen Camilla's grandsons from Windsor Castle. What might normally have stayed as a quiet family matter inside palace walls quickly turned into a public storm. According to several accounts, this was not a gentle request for someone to leave or a simple misunderstanding between relatives. Instead, security personnel were reportedly involved, which instantly changed the tone of the situation. A private moment suddenly became something far bigger, something that felt serious enough to capture attention far beyond the royal family itself. What makes this story even more surprising is the name at the center of it all: King Charles. For many years, Charles was known for his deep commitment to Camilla and his determination to protect their relationship from constant public criticism. He stood by her through decades of controversy, judgment, and intense media pressure, eventually helping her secure a respected place within the monarchy as queen. Over time, Camilla's children and grandchildren also became more visible in royal settings, appearing at family events and celebrations, slowly becoming part of the wider royal picture. That is why the latest reports have left so many royal watchers stunned. The idea that one of Camilla's own grandchildren could be removed from Windsor Castle, a place so closely linked with royal tradition and authority, feels unexpected and almost symbolic. It creates a picture that is hard to ignore. A family that once seemed to be drawing closer together now appears to face new and sudden boundaries. For those closely watching the royal family, this moment brings up serious and uncomfortable questions. Was it just a simple case of royal rules being enforced as usual, or could it point to something deeper happening behind the scenes? Many now wonder how decisions are really being made at the very top of the monarchy. Most importantly, people are now asking whether King Charles, a man known for valuing family unity, may have reached a point where duty to the crown must come before personal ties. If true, it would highlight one of the most painful realities of royal life, that even within a family, the weight of tradition and responsibility can sometimes override closeness, loyalty, and affection. King Charles was reportedly involved in the decision to remove Camilla's grandson from Windsor. But what could have led to such an unexpected situation involving the king himself? Could there have been a misunderstanding between him and Queen Camilla? Or did he choose to place the crown and royal tradition above personal ties with extended family? Let's find out. Charles and the difficult choices of a king. This reported incident has drawn so much attention because it highlights the very difficult position King Charles now finds himself in. He is not only the head of the royal family, but also a husband, a father, and a man tied to deep personal relationships. At the same time, he is the monarch, responsible for protecting an ancient institution that carries centuries of tradition, rules, and public expectation. Balancing these two worlds is never simple, and moments like this bring that struggle into the open. For many years, King Charles has been seen as someone who values family unity and emotional connection. Even before becoming king, he often tried to bring different parts of the family closer together and reduce long-standing tensions. After marrying Camilla, he also made efforts to help her feel fully accepted within royal life. Over time, this extended to her children and grandchildren. who gradually appeared more often at royal gatherings and family events. To many observers, this gave the impression of a more blended and modern royal household. However, the reality of being a monarch is that personal feelings do not always guide decisions. Being king means making choices that serve the crown first, even when those choices are uncomfortable or painful. According to some commentators, if Charles was involved in the Windsor decision, it may suggest a shift in mindset. Instead of focusing only on family harmony, he may now be placing greater weight on the long-term stability and image of the monarchy itself. Seen from this angle, the situation is not simply about one family disagreement or one incident at Windsor Castle. It becomes something larger and more symbolic. It reflects the reality that the monarchy operates under constant pressure, where every action is judged not only by those inside the family, but also by the public watching closely from outside. In that sense, what is unfolding may not be about personal conflict at all. Instead, it may be an example of Charles facing one of the hardest truths of royal life, that tradition, public trust, and duty to the institution can sometimes come before personal relationships, no matter how close they may be. King Charles may have chosen to uphold royal tradition and protocol, which led to the removal of Camilla's grandson. But how did Camilla's family gain access to such a remarkable privilege in the first place? Could this development be a sign that new boundaries are being defined within the British monarchy? Let's uncover the intriguing details. The subtle and effective shifts. The reported Windsor incident did not appear out of nowhere. Instead, it seems to sit on top of a longer, quieter buildup of changes that many royal watchers say have been happening behind the scenes. Nothing in royal life usually shifts in a single moment. More often, it changes slowly, through small signs that only become clear when people look back and connect the dots. For many years, Queen Camilla's children and grandchildren seemed to hold a warm and steady place within royal life. They appeared at important family events, joined in holiday gatherings, and were seen around major celebrations. Their presence helped create the image of a more relaxed and united royal household, where different branches of the family could come together despite a complicated history. At the time, this inclusion felt natural and even important, as it showed Camilla was being fully accepted into royal life after years of public scrutiny. But more recent moments have made some observers start to ask different questions. Small changes, such as fewer appearances at key events or the absence of certain family members from well-known royal gatherings, have not gone unnoticed. On their own, these moments may seem minor. However, when viewed together, they begin to form a pattern that has sparked quiet speculation among royal commentators. This has led to growing talk that the definition of family within royal circles may be slowly shifting. At the same time, discussions about the future structure of the monarchy have added to this sense of uncertainty, with more attention being placed on who truly belongs at the center of royal life and who does not. In royal tradition, change is rarely announced clearly or directly. There are no public statements explaining every adjustment. Instead, meaning is often communicated in more subtle ways. An invitation that does not arrive, a seat that is no longer offered, or a familiar face that suddenly stops appearing at important events can all speak louder than words. It is within this quiet and careful system of signals that many believe the Windsor incident should be understood not as an isolated moment, but as part of a much bigger and more gradual shift in royal boundaries that has been unfolding over time. The reported removal of Camilla's grandson indicates that new boundaries are being set within the British monarchy. But could this mean that the past is catching up with Camilla? What challenges and controversies surrounded her path into the royal family? And could some of those old memories still be influencing how things unfold today? Now, let's explore Camilla's most personal challenge. Camilla's long road to the crown. Behind all the headlines and speculation lies a far more personal and emotional story for Queen Camilla. Her journey into royal life is one of the most dramatic transformations in modern royal history. There was a time when she was heavily criticized, widely judged by the public, and linked to one of the most painful and talked about royal scandals in recent memory. For years, she lived under constant scrutiny, with her name often mentioned in a negative light across newspapers and television screens. Yet over time, that story slowly changed. Through patience, quiet resilience, and years of staying out of the spotlight when needed, Camilla gradually rebuilt her public image. What once seemed impossible eventually happened. She moved from being one of the most controversial figures in Britain to becoming queen. It was not a quick or easy journey, but one shaped by endurance, careful public work, and the steady support of King Charles. As her position within the monarchy became more secure, her family also became part of that changing story. Her children and grandchildren began appearing at royal events, joining family gatherings, and becoming more visible within the wider royal circle. For many observers, this helped strengthen the idea that Camilla had not only been accepted as queen, but that her entire family had, in some way, been gently brought closer into royal life. That is why any news involving Camilla's grandchildren now attracts so much attention. It is no longer seen as just a private family moment or a small incident. Instead, it raises bigger questions about her true position within the royal family and how deep that acceptance really goes, especially as the monarchy continues to change and evolve. Some royal watchers believe the real issue is not simply about access to places like Windsor Castle. Instead, they see it as something deeper, an emotional question about belonging. Has the acceptance Camilla worked so hard to achieve fully extended to the people she loves most, or are there still invisible limits that define where her family fits within royal life? If there is any truth to that concern, then this moment could represent one of the most sensitive and emotionally challenging periods of her life as queen. Camilla's controversial journey into the royal family may have led some to a disappointing moment like this. But could she have prepared for a situation like this? And if royal boundaries are changing, where can she truly relax and spend time with the people closest to her? Now, let's uncover the private sanctuary where Queen Camilla escapes royal pressure. Ray Mill House. Amid growing speculation about Windsor Castle, shifting royal boundaries, and the quiet pressures of life inside the monarchy, there is still one place that remains deeply personal to Queen Camilla. It is Ray Mill House, her private retreat, where she can step away from royal duties and enjoy rare moments of peace with family and close friends. Long before she became queen, before titles, duties, and constant public attention shaped her daily life, Camilla lived most of her years as a private citizen. Unlike many members of the royal family who are born into lifelong public roles, she experienced a more ordinary rhythm of life. She raised her children, maintained close friendships, and enjoyed a sense of freedom that allowed her to step away from public expectations. It was a life grounded in normal routines, far removed from the formality of royal ceremonies and palace protocol. According to a close friend speaking to The Telegraph, Ray Mill House is still the one place where Camilla can fully breathe away from royal demands. It is not just a residence, but a personal escape, a place where she can close the door on official duties, step away from constant attention, and simply be herself. In that space, she can spend time with family and close friends, enjoy quiet moments, and return, even briefly, to a life that feels more relaxed and familiar. As questions rise about shifting boundaries and changing access within royal life, Ray Mill House stands out as something deeply personal and firmly outside of that structure. It is not controlled by palace rules or official traditions in the same way royal residences are. Instead, it remains one of the few spaces that belongs entirely to her. For many royal watchers, that contrast is powerful. On one side, there are debates about inclusion, status, and the limits of royal acceptance. On the other hand, there is Ray Mill House, a quiet reminder that behind the crown and public role, Camilla is also a grandmother and a woman who values simple, private moments with the people closest to her. Amid all the royal tension and uncertainty, that home stands out as something special and rare. It is a place where titles mean nothing, where no one questions who belongs or who doesn't, and where the pressures of royal life disappear. For a little while, everything feels simple, calm, and completely ordinary again. Beyond Camilla having a private home where she can relax and spend time with her family without royal restrictions, did other members of the royal family support King Charles's reported decision to remove Camilla's grandson? And if they did, who was present and chose not to object? Let's find out. The silent force of the monarchy. During major royal events, most of the public attention naturally goes to the most visible members of the royal family, the king, queen, and the Prince and Princess of Wales. Cameras follow their every move, every greeting, and every expression. But among experienced royal watchers, there is often one person who draws a different kind of attention: Princess Anne. Princess Anne has built her reputation slowly and steadily over many decades. She is widely seen as one of the hardest-working and most reliable members of the monarchy. Unlike many public figures, she does not chase attention, rarely gives interviews, and rarely involves herself in public drama. Instead, she focuses on royal duty. Day after day, year after year, she carries out royal engagements with discipline, consistency, and a quiet sense of responsibility that has earned her deep respect both inside and outside the royal household. Because of this long-standing reputation, even her smallest reactions are often studied closely. In a family where words are carefully chosen and silence can be just as powerful as speech, Princess Anne's behavior is often treated like a signal. When she approves of something, it matters. When she disagrees, it is usually known in subtle ways. And when she says nothing at all, that silence can sometimes speak the loudest. That is why recent reports claiming Princess Anne may have quietly accepted what happened at Windsor have drawn so much attention. She did not speak out or make any public move, but she also did not object. In royal life, even silence can carry meaning. And when someone like Anne stays quiet, people often read it as a sign that something important is being accepted. Princess Anne is not known for emotional reactions or dramatic actions. She prefers to observe quietly, listen carefully, and understand the full situation before making any judgment. If she feels something is wrong, she may speak privately and directly. But when she believes a decision protects the monarchy, she usually steps aside and allows it to happen without interference or public comment. In a world where every gesture is analyzed, the fact that Princess Anne reportedly remained silent has been interpreted by some as more than neutrality. It has become in itself a powerful and quietly influential statement. There are indications that Princess Anne may have quietly approved of her brother's decision to remove Camilla's grandson from Windsor. But was her reaction influenced by her long history with Camilla? Or did she simply believe the decision served the greater interests of the monarchy she had spent her life protecting? Let's uncover the surprising details. Princess Anne's silent verdict. A big reason this story has captured so much attention is the idea that Princess Anne may have quietly supported the decision that shocked many royal watchers. She has not said anything publicly, so nothing is confirmed. But people are reading meaning into her silence based on her strong character and how she usually behaves within the royal family, where staying quiet can sometimes speak louder than words. Throughout her life, Anne has built a strong reputation for placing the monarchy above everything else. She is often described as someone who does not get carried away by emotion or personal feeling when it comes to royal duty. Instead, she focuses on one clear goal: protecting the stability of the institution she has served all her life. Over the years, she has seen the royal family go through major scandals, public arguments, media storms, and deep personal struggles. Through all of it, she has remained steady, rarely commenting, rarely reacting publicly, and always returning to her duties without distraction. Because of this long history, some royal commentators believe Anne may view difficult or uncomfortable decisions as a normal, even necessary, part of royal life. In her view, protecting the crown may sometimes require choices that are not easy for individuals or families. If that is truly how she sees things, may carry a deeper meaning than it first appears. If Anne quietly supported the decision or simply chose not to challenge it, it could suggest that she believed it was made for the good of the wider institution. In royal life, not speaking can sometimes be just as powerful as speaking out. Silence can signal acceptance, understanding, or even approval, depending on the situation and the person involved. That is why Princess Anne's reaction, or even her silence, has become a major topic of discussion. She is never known for drama or emotional outbursts. Instead, she is calm, careful, and very selective about when she speaks. So when she chooses not to step in, many people see it as meaningful and worth paying close attention to. Anne's silence has become one of the most discussed and intriguing elements of all, leaving many to wonder what she truly thinks and whether her quiet presence is actually a sign that she fully understands what is unfolding behind palace walls. Anne's decision not to object at her brother's decision has been viewed by many as a sign of quiet approval. But what could this mean for the future of the monarchy? Does it suggest that the royal family is moving toward a more traditional institution, guided more strictly by protocol and established rules? Let's uncover the intriguing details. A monarchy in transition. Although King Charles still sits firmly on the throne,